Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video on my channel. So we've been doing plenty of videos this week about necromancy and how it can make you some money. In this episode, we're going to be doing something which I wanted to do earlier in the week, but I wanted to make sure that it was still a viable option by later on, and that is ashes. And not only just ashes, the other supplies needed to turn your necroplasm into ink. So to upgrade your necroplasm, whether it be lesser, greater or powerful, you're going to need a vial of water and some ashes. Now, because of these two items really didn't have much demand, the price of both have really just generally skyrocketed. But what I want to show you is there's a couple of methods for each to collect them nice and cheap and also be able to make your potions in a place all together in one big method. So we'll be going through the methods to get the water and the ashes in this video, and to make the most profit from necromancy. You can either use these to make your ink or just sell them in general for quite a high price at the minute and make some even more profit. So to get started, in terms of your vial of water, a portable well is an infinite supply of vials. So if you click on the right option, it will always give you the option to take X and then you can loot the vials as such. At the minute these are 137 each, but they might sell on a higher price on the Grand Exchange. So that's something we'll check toward the end of the video just to make sure like prices and stuff make sense. And because of that, you can pretty much just sit and loot on a portable all you want and just make money from there. Another option, in terms of the portable as well, you don't even need to buy your own. At the minute, because of this and other methods, the portable well is quite high. If you just go to 99 or world 84, a portable well will always be put down in Fort Room 3 in the Combat Academy, and you can just sit and loot from there. It's not just that you have to put your own down. You can pretty much use whichever one is available and loot the vials. They are pretty quick as well. As you can see, I've already banked 150 and we're not really like trying too hard or anything. You can definitely get a couple thousand per hour, and it's just absolute free money if you are a brand new account. This would also work in non-members, I think, so it's another good way for you to make some money towards that first bond if you're looking to get to membership. Not only that, there are some shops dotted around Runescape which have vial packs. I believe Shiloh Village in our Donge are two which have vial packs available. You can just go to the shop and buy them, and you can buy them for a price. Just to prove that you can do this, I'm just going to go to the Ardon shop. Now obviously the well is a free option, and it's actually quite a quick option as well. But if you wanted to do it and you're doing shop runs anyway, you can buy 6 water packs here for 500 GP. Open them up, and for the price of 300 GP, we have just got some vials which are worth 41k, which I imagine they're going to be slightly higher anyway. But that is an option. Admittedly, I think the well might be quicker, but if you wanted to buy them, that is also something you could do. So the vials are the lesser higher price, and also you can buy vials. You can buy empty vials as well, probably for like 2 GP, and use humidify and also fill them up as well for a good way to train mage and make profit as well. However, the main thing which has brought profit up and made like this method viable for doing ink and in general is the price of ashes. So ashes in a minute have absolutely skyrocketed. Before, obviously, there was no real point of having ashes. It didn't bring any value. They didn't do anything. However, now because of these inks and the sheer demand on these inks, these ashes have gone towards 9k. Now, once this happened at the beginning of the week, I didn't think it would hold that price or sustain that price. But because of the fact the ink are used in rituals throughout the skill, and people are doing rituals from pretty much 90 towards 200 mil, the demand on the ashes and the inks in general are through the roof. And because of this, the ashes supply cannot keep up. So I did make some ashes earlier on, and if we were to put this on the Grand Exchange just to prove the price, we can put price for the ashes and it will come in at 9.2k. Now if we were to slow sell, you'll get it under 10k as well. So in terms of ashes, there are a few options for us to make them. You can, if you're looking at training firemaking, this actually brings profit to firemaking and not just a bit. It's actually quite substantial and high profit. So one thing you need to do is find an area where you can actually burn all the logs in one go. The Grand Exchange, unlike old school, doesn't let you burn close to the bank. So for this reason, I'm going to Fort Room 3 where we can do 3 solid lines of firemaking, and then we can loot from there as well. The good thing with RS3 is you now have area loot available, which means that like when you're firemaking across, you can be looting your ashes because people will pick them up now. Because they're 9k, people will loot your ashes. What a world we live in. So what you want to be doing is getting the lowest tier log possible, because that would have the lowest timer it's going to burn for. And the problem I faced is going through the prices is that everything was quite expensive. You're looking like your lower tier logs, normal, oak, willow are all over a K, whereas maples are actually 400 GP each, and they are only like the 4th highest log available. So I've gone with them because I think in terms of like costs and stuff, admittedly you're going to make a load of profit no matter what you do, but I think maples just made a bit more sense with like what price they were. I think for a maple it was, yeah, just under 200 GP, so it's almost like 5 times cheaper than all the other logs. And it's just more profit, and then if you did lose some ashes, for example, you're not too out of pocket with the price of a log you take. And what I've chosen to do as well is put a tinderbox in my invo, because I think the interface with like crafting is just too long and tedious. And this is basically what I'll be doing, and hopefully by the time we've finished the third set of logs, your first lot will start to have extinguished and the ashes are available. And then because we've got the area loot, and because it's got such a wider range nowadays, you'll be able to pick them up quite quickly. So pretty much starting to set my fort on fire, but this first row should start extinguishing quite soon. And once you think that like an invo is about 250k, then you realise like just sheerly like how much profit firemaking is. 4 rows of this is a mil. And not only that, you are training your firemaking skill as well. It can be something which can be done from level 1, and you're going to be making the same money if not more. You're only limited by like how quick your logs take to burn out, and there's the first one of the maple going, so hopefully we can get this line done, and then we'll just be able to run all the way through it and get it. Now there's one more method which I'm going to have to show on the main account because I've not done the quest, where you can pretty much do this whole process in one, and making your necroplasm into ink can actually be profit, especially if you get the items for free like we're looking to do. And it can be a great method for Iron Men as well, to be able to do it, even if it's just a resource collecting part. Now, what you want to do in between this is completely your call. Now, what I do, because I've got 2 rows ready to go, another method for you to be able to get ashes through firemaking is through bonfires and the spirits you can get. So what I'll do for the next round, while these two are, because we've been waiting for the ashes to spawn and stuff, we're slightly off with our timing. So I will just set up a bonfire, and then that way I can go and loot whenever, or just hop onto one of these fires. And because we're quite off with our timing, all we need to do then is like just keep an eye on it, just to make sure that we're able to loot our ashes afterwards. However, with a bonfire, occasionally you'll get the fire spirit, and the fire spirit does have a chance. You'll get charms, so it's very good for a low account like this one, but also you have a chance of getting ashes as the loot as well, so it's just even more chance to make profit from firemaking. So these two have pretty much made like firemaking a very decent skill. Like, in terms of the logs per hour you can burn, I'm pretty sure it's over 1,000. I think it's more like 1,400 logs. You could make 14 mil just from that, just by training your firemaking up in the traditional way. So what I do here, because this first half is like despawned or extinguished quite quick, I just go and loot it, and I'd wait for the back end to do and just hop back onto the bonfire. But again, you could quite comfortably have reburnt that line. This is just the way I like to do it, just to make sure that we definitely get all of our logs, all of our ashes. And we didn't get lucky with a fire spirit then, so we'll loot that. But yeah, that's pretty much firemaking in a nutshell. Our third line is actually starting to despawn now, so I'm just going to go and loot that. So for us now, we now have to wait for our 3 lines to start. We need to get our 3 lines burning again. So if you are doing it like you're pretty much consistently doing lines, you'll always have a supply of ashes. You just need to be careful, and you also need to accept as well, you might lose a couple. You won't probably get every ash, which is perfectly fine, because the sheer amount of money you're making is perfectly acceptable. But in those 3 lines, we've made 750k easily, just from doing old school, regular, normal firemaking. So that is the end of this episode. Obviously, a lot of it was talking through like firemaking methods and how it's making profit, which is really the base of this video. If you are a non-member account, now is probably the best time for you to escape free to play, make some GP with this and less than necroplasm, and actually get into members, and then be able to have the members benefits and make more money. So really good free to play moneymaker, really good way to train low level firemaking, but also make serious profit. And to be fair, the sort of money you're making per hour, like mid levels and maybe even main accounts, can look and say this could be a viable option if you're hunting for firemaking pets, or if you need to train firemaking at all. I hope you guys enjoyed. As I've said before in previous videos, we're doing quite a lot based around Necromancy for the time being. Next week we should be into like the more regular routine and regular kind of content we do. We do need to do the second half of the Bond from Scratch series, which is what this account is on, and what we did the firemaking methods on in this video. But yeah, that'll be returning next week. Hope you guys have enjoyed once again. If you have, please subscribe to the channel. Plenty more content on its way, and I'll see you guys in the next video.